Have you ever found yourself staring at the mirror, wondering, why don't I feel like myself anymore? The strength, the clarity, the passion, they're not gone, but they feel distant. You push through your day, hit the gym, and try to eat right, but something still feels off. It's not just about getting older, and it's not in your head. There's a hidden hormonal shift that most men never hear about, and it could be silently draining your drive, day after day. But here's the good news, it's not permanent. In this video, you'll discover what that hormone is, how it quietly sabotages your energy, and most importantly, how small, simple habits can help you get back your edge. If you've ever felt like your spark is fading, stay with me. What you learn today might just flip the switch back on. I'm Dr. Daniel Hayes, a men's health specialist with over 10 years of experience, helping men over 50 regain control of their bodies, energy, and confidence. Over the past 2 decades, I've worked with thousands of men who came to me saying the same thing. Doc, I just don't feel like myself anymore. And you know what? They weren't wrong, but they also weren't broken. What they needed wasn't another pill or vague advice to just relax. They needed real answers rooted in biology and a clear, practical path forward. That's exactly what I'm here to give you. In this video, I'm going to break down one of the most overlooked hormonal factors affecting men after 50 and show you what you can start doing today to take your vitality back naturally, safely, and effectively. You wake up tired, even after a full night's sleep. Your workouts don't give you that kick anymore. You find yourself avoiding intimacy not because you don't want it, but because it feels like your body isn't keeping up with your mind. You're not depressed, you're not lazy, and you're not weak. But something has shifted. The energy that used to come naturally now feels rationed. The drive that once pushed you forward at work, in relationships, in life now shows up in bursts, if at all. And maybe, just maybe, you've started to wonder, is this what getting older is supposed to feel like? You've tried eating better. You've even considered testosterone therapy. But deep down, you're still asking, why does it still feel like something's missing? Does this sound familiar? If you nodded at any point, you're not alone. What you're experiencing is more common than most men realize, but far less talked about. That's because there's another hormone in your body that doesn't get the spotlight. It's not testosterone. It's not cortisol. And yet, when it falls out of balance, it can quietly sabotage everything that makes you feel alive, powerful, and connected. In the next section, I'll show you what that hormone is, how it works, and why it might be the missing link in your journey back to vitality. Imagine your body as a finely tuned orchestra. Testosterone may be the lead violin, but without the conductor, the whole symphony loses rhythm. That conductor, for many men over 50, is a hormone called DHEA, short for dehydroepiandrosterone. DHEA isn't as famous as testosterone, but it's just as vital. Produced by your adrenal glands, DHEA is a precursor hormone, meaning your body uses it to make other key hormones, including testosterone and estrogen. Think of it like the raw material your hormonal system needs to function. Now here's the problem. After age 30, DHEA levels begin to decline slowly at first, then more steeply after 50. According to studies from the Mayo Clinic and Harvard Health, DHEA can drop by more than 50% by the time you reach your late 52nd. This decline doesn't just affect hormone production, it impacts energy metabolism, mood regulation, immune function, and yes, your libido. When DHEA is low, your body struggles to maintain healthy testosterone levels, even if your testicles are functioning normally. This leads to a chain reaction. Less DHEA to less testosterone, to reduced drive, motivation, and vitality. But here's the kicker. Most routine checkups don't test for DHEA. And since its symptoms overlap with general aging, men often go years without realizing that their tank is running dry, not because of testosterone alone, but because the fuel to make it is missing. Low DHEA has also been linked to increased belly fat, brain fog, joint stiffness, and even mild depression. In many cases, it's the invisible weight that men carry without knowing its name. But here's the good news. While we can't stop time, we can support the body's natural ability to restore hormonal balance, and you don't need extreme therapies or invasive treatments to do it. In the next section, I'll walk you through simple, science-backed strategies to naturally support your DHEA levels so your body can start producing what it needs to feel strong, focused, and alive again. Solution 1. Prioritize deep sleep, your hormonal reset button. If you're over 50 and struggling with energy, drive, or mood, your first instinct might be to look at supplements or testosterone therapy. But here's the truth. None of that matters if you're not sleeping deeply. Sleep isn't just rest, it's repair. It's during deep sleep that your brain signals your adrenal glands to produce DHEA. Research published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that men with poor sleep quality had significantly lower DHEA levels, regardless of age or activity level. Think of deep sleep like a charging station for your hormones. No matter how clean your diet is or how hard you train, if your body doesn't get that full recharge, it won't have the raw material to function at full capacity. So how can you improve your deep sleep? Stick to a consistent sleep-wake schedule, even on weekends. This helps regulate your circadian rhythm and signals your body when to enter deep sleep. Avoid screens at least 60 minutes before bed. Blue light interferes with melatonin, the hormone that tells your brain it's time to sleep. Cool your bedroom. Studies show the ideal sleep temperature is between 7 degrees Fahrenheit, 9 degrees Celsius, to promote deeper, more restorative sleep cycles. Cut caffeine after 2 p.m. Even if you fall asleep easily, caffeine can reduce deep sleep time without you realizing it. You don't need to overhaul your life to sleep better. Even improving one of these habits can result in noticeable changes within a few nights. And when your sleep quality improves, your DHEA levels often follow, setting off a positive cascade that supports testosterone, energy, and mental clarity. You might be surprised how much stronger you feel, not just physically, but emotionally, when your body finally gets the rest it's been needing for years. Solution 2. Add healthy fats, fuel for hormone production. Many men over 50 have been told for decades to avoid fat. Low fat is heart healthy, they said. But here's what most didn't hear. Your body needs fat to make hormones, especially DHEA and testosterone. Cholesterol, often seen as the villain, is the building block for DHEA. Without enough healthy fats in your diet, your adrenal glands can't manufacture this vital hormone, no matter how hard they try. And when dietary fat is too low for too long, your entire hormonal system can go into economy mode, cutting down drive, energy, and libido to conserve resources. But not all fats are created equal. The key is to focus on fats that support hormone health and reduce inflammation, not the ones that clog arteries or cause insulin resistance. Here's how to do it. Include healthy saturated fats like organic eggs, grass-fed beef, and coconut oil in moderation. These support cholesterol synthesis, the precursor to DHEA. Add more monounsaturated fats like avocados, olive oil, and almonds, proven to help regulate hormone production and protect heart health. Boost omega-3 intake through wild-caught salmon, sardines, chia seeds, or fish oil supplements. Omega-3 can not only help your adrenal function but also reduce inflammation that can interfere with hormone signaling. And what should you reduce? Processed vegetable oils, trans fats, and anything deep-fried. These promote oxidative stress and disrupt hormonal balance. The beautiful part? You don't need to become a gourmet chef. Just swapping out refined carbs for quality fats in 1 or 2 meals per day can trigger a noticeable shift. Many men report improved mental clarity, stable energy, and renewed interest in intimacy after just a couple of weeks. When you give your body the right kind of fuel, it responds quickly. Hormone production isn't magic, it's chemistry, and chemistry runs on the nutrients you give it every single day. Solution 3. Use targeted movement to wake up your hormonal system. By the time most men hit 50, their workouts either become too intense to recover from, or so mild that they barely stimulate change. But here's the truth. Your body still craves challenge, just not the same kind it did at 25. The right kind of movement doesn't just burn calories. It activates your adrenal glands, boosts DHEA production, and signals your body that strength, stamina, and masculinity are still in demand. But the key is balance. Not overtraining, not undertraining, targeted, strategic intensity. Research from the Journal of Hormone and Metabolic Research shows that short bursts of resistance training and interval-based cardio can significantly elevate DHEA levels even in older, sedentary men. Here's what that looks like in practice. Strength train 2-3 times per week, focusing on compound movements like squats, deadlifts, push-ups, and rows. These multi-joint exercises trigger a strong hormonal response. Incorporate HIIT, high-intensity interval training, once or twice a week. 20 minutes of alternating high effort. For example, fast cycling or sprinting with low effort recovery. This boosts both testosterone and DHEA while improving cardiovascular health. Move every day, even outside the gym. A brisk 30-minute walk in the morning can help regulate cortisol and improve adrenal balance. What matters most isn't perfection, it's consistency. Even if you start with just 2 15-minute sessions per week, the hormonal impact builds fast. Within a few weeks, many men feel more alert, more motivated, and even more emotionally stable, simply because their endocrine system is being reminded, that it still matters. You don't have to train like an athlete. You just have to move like a man who wants to feel alive again. The best version of you isn't gone, it's just been waiting for the right signal. Movement is that signal. Solution 4. Manage stress before it manages. You might think stress is just part of being a man. Deadlines, bills, family responsibilities you push through. That's what you've always done. But chronic stress isn't just exhausting, it's biochemically destructive to your hormones, especially DHEA. Here's why. Your adrenal glands produce both cortisol, your stress hormone, and DHEA. But when your body senses long-term stress, it prioritizes cortisol to help you survive, and in doing so, DHEA production gets pushed aside. It's like a factory switching all machines to emergency mode, survival over strength, alertness over passion. Over time, high cortisol and low DHEA become a hormonal double punch. Your energy dips, your motivation fades, and your body starts conserving instead of performing. So how do you fight back? You don't eliminate stress, you retrain your nervous system to handle it better. Try this. Practice deep breathing for 5 minutes a day. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, and exhale for 6. This activates your parasympathetic system, reducing cortisol and boosting adrenal recovery. Schedule non-doing time. Even just 10-15 minutes a day of walking in silence, reading, or stretching without screens gives your brain space to reset. Limit exposure to artificial stress. News, social media, and multitasking overload your mind. Be intentional with your inputs. Consider adaptogens like ashwagandha or rhodiola natural herbs shown in studies, including by the American Journal of Men's Health, to reduce cortisol and support DHEA production. Always consult your doctor before use. Men who take stress seriously often feel the difference within a week. Clearer thinking, deeper sleep, calmer moods, and gradually, the return of that inner fire they thought was gone. Managing stress isn't a weakness, it's a strategy. It's one of the most powerful and overlooked ways to reclaim hormonal balance and live with purpose, not just pressure. Solution 5. Consider DHEA testing and natural supplementation, but do it smart. For many men, just improving sleep, nutrition, movement, and stress management can restore DHEA levels naturally. But if you've been consistent and still feel like something's missing, it may be time to take the guesswork out and get your levels tested. A simple blood test can measure DHEAS, the sulfate form, giving you a clear picture of whether you're in the healthy range for your age. Most men over 50 fall well below optimal, even if they feel fine. And that gap between average and optimal is often where fatigue, low drive, and brain fog live. If your levels are low, your doctor may suggest DHEA supplementation. But before you run to the supplement aisle, here's what you should know. DHEA is a hormone. Though available over the counter in some countries like the US, it still acts powerfully in the body. Taking too much can cause side effects or create imbalances. Start low. Many men respond well to doses as low as 10-25 mg per day, taken in the morning. More is not better, especially with hormones. Always test, don't guess. DHEA should not be taken indefinitely without monitoring blood levels. Combine it with lifestyle. Supplements work best when your foundation, sleep, diet, stress, is already solid. Without that, you're just throwing fuel into a broken engine. Natural doesn't mean harmless. And hormonal support should always be personalized. The smartest path is to work with a functional or hormone-literate practitioner who understands male aging, not just someone who prescribes based on symptoms. But here's the hopeful part. When DHEA levels are brought back into balance, either through natural habits or careful support, most men describe it the same way, like the fog lifting, like their body finally responding again, like they've reconnected to their power. And that's what this is really about, not chasing youth but restoring control. You are not broken. You're not past your prime. You're simply running on an outdated story, a story that says men over 50 should slow down, settle in, and accept the fade. But that story is wrong. What you're experiencing isn't failure, it's a message from your body asking for something it's been missing. And now, you know what that something might be. DHEA is not a magic fix, but understanding its role gives you back something far more powerful: agency. You now have tools, sleep, nutrition, movement, stress mastery, and informed testing that can shift your biology in your favor. Not someday, starting today. Because your body isn't working against you, it's waiting for you to work with it. And when you do, even in small, consistent ways, it responds, it heals, it wakes up. So here's the real takeaway. You're not chasing your younger self. You're building a stronger, wiser version of the man you've always been. Don't settle for feeling fine. Reclaim what's yours: clarity, strength, and purpose. Because life after 50 isn't about decline. It's about finally knowing what matters and having the courage to protect it. If this video helped you understand something new about your body, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend, a brother, or anyone you know who might be silently struggling just like you were. Sometimes, a simple conversation can spark real change. And if you'd like more guidance on how to stay strong, sharp, and in control after 50, consider subscribing to this channel. Every week, I share clear, science-backed strategies to help men like you live with more energy, clarity, and purpose without hype and shortcuts. Because you deserve more than generic advice. You deserve tools that truly work for your life, your age, and your goals. Thanks for watching. I'm glad you're here.